Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. We are planting pepper seeds today. All right, we grow a lot of sweet peppers here. We don't grow any spicy peppers. We just simply, we don't mind the heat, but it doesn't necessarily agree with us appropriately. So we plant all sweet peppers, and we plant them in these red solo cups, or just red plastic cups. Just simpler that way. So to start off with, we take these red cups and we poke holes in the bottom. Okay, we just take a nail and poke about 3 holes in the bottom of each cup for drainage. You don't need water to sit in the bottom of your cup, you just need it to be able to drain out. Okay, and then your potting mix, get a good quality potting mix. Okay, it needs to be nice and loose and light, not necessarily the seed starting mix. Okay, seed starting mixes, our belief is that they're too light and it requires you to up pot way too much. Okay, we start our seeds in the cups that we're going to leave them in until we put them in the ground. Okay, so get a good quality potting mix, nice and light. Okay, and we just put it in a Tractor Supply bucket, and we mix water with it until you can squeeze it. Okay, no water's coming out. You're not wringing water out of it, but you can kind of squeeze it and it stays together. Okay, so it needs to be nice and moist already. It's good to have it pre-moistened. That way you're not washing your seeds down into the soil when you water them. Okay, they're kind of there. It can hold the seeds really well, and you're not going to wash the seeds down into it. Then after that, my wife Angela Kay, she's very smart. She takes the tags. Okay, takes the tags, writes the tags out, and then attaches the tags to the side of the cups. Okay, that's very important to start off with, to the side of the cups, just with a rubber band. That way we know what seeds we should be putting into each cup. Then after that, we take all the cups and we get them inside of their seed starting trays. They need to be in a tray because water is going to come out of the bottom, right? So we don't want water going all over the place. So that's just kind of how we set it up. That's our personal preference. That's what's worked best for us in the past and over the past handful of years. Would never call ourselves an expert, okay? But this is exactly what works for us. Okay, if somebody calls themselves an expert, I wouldn't trust them. But this is exactly what works well for us, and we've grown a good amount of peppers over the years. So now let's get started on what seeds we're growing this year, what plants we're growing, what seeds we're going to be planting. Right? It's all sweet peppers. It's a Golden California Wonder. It is Keystone Resistant Giant. It's Ashvarsky. That's a really delicious pepper. Kubanel, we love them. Yalova Yaglik, okay, that's a Turkish breed. Domalak, that's another Turkish breed. And Surmele, it's another Turkish breed. Those are all sweet peppers. Some are going to be thinner shelled, some are a skinnier pepper, but they're all going to be green maturing to red. King of the North, these are it's a green pepper that we plant for my mother-in-law. Not a peno, again it's a jalapeno flavor with no heat. And a Turkish orange eggplant. Okay, so that's yes, there's a little Turkish flair to it. They grow a lot of food there, and we're kind of interested to see what they're doing. Yes, we're pretty organized, so like the cups are in order of the seeds that we got in stack here. Angela's a very organized person. Me, not as much, but she's pretty organized, so she's got it kind of lined up for us. I'm going to show you exactly how we're planting these seeds. Pepper seeds, unlike tomatoes, they're a little bit bigger, so they're a lot bigger there, and they're pretty easy to hold on to. Tomatoes are a little lighter and kind of cardboard-like, and they don't necessarily, they stick to your fingers a little bit too much. They're harder, not too much harder, but they're more harder. These seeds are pretty dry, and they're easy to deal with. Now, very simply put, what I like to do, take the cup, just like it is, take one pepper seed, put it down, and just push it down in with my finger, and kind of lightly cover it over, pack the soil down on top of it. Okay, on each one, you need good soil contact for each seed. Okay, and then put another one down and poke it down in there, real easy like, and then press the soil down on top of your finger. This is a good light soil, and that's imperative that you get a good light soil. That way you can pack it down without just burying the seed too hard. You got to be careful. All right, so now I know I did this one, so I'm going to leave it out because I can see where I press down. But as you go through, honestly, it kind of helps to just drop one, so, and just don't press them in yet, because that way you can see that you put one in that cup, right? Because personally for me, I might lose track of where I put them at, which ones I planted, which ones I didn't. So if you leave the seeds kind of on top of the soil, you know which ones you put a seed in. You'd really hate to think that you put one in and that you didn't. Or you'd also hate to laugh and expel air out of your hand and shoot the seeds out on top of the table like I just did. What you would really like to do is keep them organized and know exactly what you've done. So just again, keep your stuff organized there. And I know all these cups here are for Golden California Wonder, so just drop a seed in on each one. We only put 2 in each cup, okay? We put 2 in each cup in case one doesn't germinate, or in case both of those germinate and maybe another cup doesn't germinate at all. So that way we can transplant across. But that way, if again, you've always got extra plants there in case something doesn't work out, you probably have a little extra plant, or maybe you have one that you can transplant over into its own pot later and give to a friend, give to a family member, give to somebody who wants to grow food but doesn't really know what to do. Maybe you can kind of guide them along a little bit. Or if you just want to plant extras, you can plant extras. That's kind of fun too. And like normal, I get the seeds out of order in my pocket. Angela does all this work to keep them in order, and then I get them out of order per usual. It's okay. This again, it's why you label your, well, that's not good. It's why you label your your plants, and hopefully you don't dump seeds out of your hand into another cup that's not labeled with that seed. See, this is why the wife is better organizing than the man. I'm a bull in a china shop once in a while. I really don't know. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. I think we're square. I don't see seeds on top of anything else, so I think we're all right. Throw this seed off into the flower bed and see what happens. But that's what we have here. So now that I have all this variety in this pan with seeds in it, I can go ahead and press the seeds down in there and just lightly cover over top. And we're going to come back later and put a little more moisture on top and cover them over, but we'll show you that after we're done, okay? Now, to spare you all the boring details of doing this for the other 28 cups, we'll see you in a minute. All right, so now all the seeds are planted, okay? We're not done yet, but now this is a very, very, very important step, because you need moisture for these things to germinate, because what you're doing is rehydrating the seeds. Okay, the seeds are dry, but in order to germinate, they need to be rehydrated. So moisture is very key, but you can't water them too hard, okay? So we're very specific about this. You could probably try to lightly sprinkle water on there and it'd be okay. But to really make sure that you're okay, get a good spray bottle, okay? That's, to us, that's just the most, that's just important that we don't wash them down too hard, because if you're trying to sprinkle water lightly, if you accidentally make a mistake and you put too much water pressure on top, you can wash those seeds down into the soil, and then they're gonna be too deep to germinate, okay? So get a good spray bottle and just spray the heck out of them. You know, just spray them real heavy, because by doing that, you're not pressing the seeds down into the ground too much, but you are getting that soil really moist, and you need a lot of moisture in there, okay? So just spray all your cups, all your soil down really well, and then we'll be back, okay? So now once you get your cups on all your soil sprayed down, got a lot of moisture in there, you gotta keep the moisture there. Now look, a lot of things cost money when you're starting seeds. This doesn't have to be one of them, okay? Because what you're gonna see is that all these plastic domes that you need to put over top of your seed starting trays to keep moisture in there and create humidity, it's unnecessary, okay? Really simple trick. Use plastic wrap, okay? Because you do need humidity for seeds to germinate. That's very real. You need to keep the humidity in there. That way it keeps the soil moist and keeps it warm and helps them germinate. That's fine. That's great. You don't need the dang plastic domes, okay? You don't. Those are $20 or more for a plastic dome. It's unnecessary. You've got plastic wrap in your house most likely. Open up your kitchen drawer. You probably got some plastic wrap in there. Cover them with plastic wrap, okay? Just simply take your plastic wrap, stretch it across, cut it with that, and just create a good layer of plastic wrap over top of it, and keep it pressed down, and that's going to keep humidity inside your cups, and it's going to keep your soil moist. And so then once the seeds start germinating, you just start uncovering them as you go. And now there's already moisture gathering under here. So there's already humidity gathering underneath this plastic wrap, which is awesome because we ain't got them on trays yet, on our seed starting trays yet, or seed starting mats. See, one thing is you don't need humidity once they've germinated. You don't need humidity for them to grow. That's actually bad for them, because if they're humid and they're too humid and too warm in there, they're going to grow really fast and get leggy, and that's a bad plant. You don't want that in a plant. You want them to grow slower. You don't want them to grow up tall. It makes you think that they're good, but they're really not. That's actually bad for them. So what we're going to do is, once these are covered, we're going to take them inside, put them on our heat mats. Okay, we got heat mats in there already getting warm, and we got grow lights, and we'll have the grow lights down as close to these as possible. We want to keep them close. We want to keep the grow lights close to these as possible. That way they're not reaching for light. Okay, so you want to keep your grow lights down close to your plants and to your seed starts as possible, and maybe you have to raise them up as you go, but that's okay. You don't want your plants reaching to the light. You want the light close to them. Also, real fast, we didn't fill these cups all the way to the top with the soil, because that way as the plant gets taller, we can add some soil around it and really create a good strong plant, because that's what you're looking for, is a good strong plant, good strong roots, and good strong stems. Okay, because if you get good fruit, you get it from good plants. So you gotta have good plants and good roots first. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.